Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. So we're looking at the series world champions. Now let's put some stuff into perspective before we move on the different world champions that we're dealing with. What you saw there was 16 world champions in the WBC. Another 16 will be in the WBA. Probably a little bit more because they have regular champions and super champions. Another 16 in the WBO. And then another 16 in the IBF. That means that if you include the IBO, you have 80 world champions. 80 plus world champions, maybe 100. Now think about this. Think about the millions of people who turned pro in boxing when these guys turned pro in boxing. And think about how many of those people actually made it up the ranks just far enough to either be a contender or to be a journeyman or a prospect or whatever. These people didn't reach world championship status. So out of millions of people, 100 people become world champion. And that tells you how exceedingly difficult it is to become a world champion. And how come it is such a wonderful thing to become that. Let's go a little further. How difficult is it to become a world champion and then to remain a world champion? That's even much more difficult. Why? Because there's always someone coming to take your championship from you. And they are as hungry as you are, or hungrier. So to maintain championship level is even more difficult than becoming a world champion. That's why a lot of people who become world champion lose their championship status almost in the next fight. One more thing. What makes remaining a world champion more difficult is the fact that now everyone is coming at you. But imagine this, someone successfully defending their championship for 7 consecutive fights, 8 consecutive fights, 9, and so on. Imagine becoming a world champion in different weight classes. Think how difficult that is. Now when you think about that, and you think about defending your championship belt, because hungry people are coming to take your championship from you, and then being very successful at doing it for, I don't know, a decade, you become a legend, and you enter into legendary status, because that's exceedingly difficult to do. And only a handful of people, when I say a handful of people, less than 10 people in any given decade are able to do that. And then where the air is rare, to be able to defend your championship and remain unbeaten, there are very few people in the history of boxing that have been able to do that, especially at the very high level of championship level. Think about that, folks. You guys have a great day.